something very big is happening. Very, very big. Now, sometimes I think it's just me. You know, it can be an individual thing. We all go through our own realities and experiences and transitions. However, as a influencer and a teacher, spiritual teacher and business teacher, I get to hear what's going on out there. And it's the same theme over and over again. It's off the charts. It's over the top. I'm going to tell you what it is because it appears to be bad. It's not. Yeah, are you feeling this? Are you getting some real powerful emotional shifts right now? I'm going to tell you what that is. I think you're going to like this. Of course you are. Let's go. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an amazing life. I'm raising the frequency of the planet, one light being at a time. That's all you have to do. It starts with this light being. Yeah, you. And so when you shift your reality, your frequency, you affect everything because we are one. Now I'm going to talk about that because sometimes you'll experience something and you think nobody else is feeling this. Right now, something very big is happening. So before we start, I hope that you will subscribe. You're going to get more amazing messages as we go through, especially these 2 years to 2026. Some very big things are happening, but we are building up to it. So we talk about shifts, transitions, big events, but there's never really just one thing because everything is constantly moving, creating, evolving, transitioning. Energy is just constantly transforming into everything it possibly can be. You and I are one of those expressions. Now let's talk about what's happening here. When you become the change maker, when you become more aware of, let's just say, the expansive energy field that pervades all things, and that you are part of that you are not an individual person walking around, that there's something much greater than the material world. And even if you don't understand it, once you start to go into that space, I call it expansion, you go into the openings that allow you to access the probabilities that exist right here. But if you don't engage in them, if you don't entangle with them, they're sitting here and there's doors that you're just not opening. Once you open those doors, including the penthouse, if you go in awakened state, I talked about this before. Once you go to that space, you don't always stay up there. Sometimes it's difficult to function up there. It's amazing and you're not functioning with anything else below you and the other floors, other frequencies. Not below you station-wise, below you meaning just lower frequencies, a different reality. Because we are all equal. No one is actually below or above you. We are all equal. I want you to always remember that. Everything's just a different expression. So whatever you see out there that looks horrible is a different expression. And the more violent and the more conflict it creates, the more separation and ego and anger, the more it's in density. Be careful of that, because if you find yourself taking sides because you think somebody's right or wrong, you're in it. You're in the basement. Now, once you go to the penthouse, you can never not know it. So those of you who've gone to a super awakened state, I went to twice. I've been into such a super awakened state that I actually was functioning outside of my body into that expansive field. I was up here observing. Very difficult to speak because you don't want to get engaged in what's going on. You don't need to. You no longer need to speak. When we go to the other side, we stop speaking. We're not thinking, arguing, analyzing. We're just communicating feelings and always in the quest to transform into something higher and better. It's learning. And that's all that we examine over on that other side. Of course, that's part of an illusion also. So you can create something different if you have beliefs that you take over. All right, so we're not going to go into that today, but I did talk about near-death experiences. Why are some so different? And people will say, this is how it is. Give you one example before I go on. I saw one and the guy said that I met Jesus and he said, stay away from all aliens. They're evil. I went, okay, that wasn't Jesus talking. So, then you realize, wait a second, that was him talking. That was his beliefs. And so even if you go into that etheric space, you're still on that frequency. You just don't pop up to the penthouse just because you left your body, the dense body of lower vibration. A frequency is the choice within it. Vibration is, this pillow has a certain vibration. We have a vibration as human beings that make us physical, self-imposed limitations. Our frequency is the energy field behind it, and we can raise that frequency. So therefore, the experience of this vibrational entity that we're in will change, because now I'm expanding out and, as I said, entangling with probabilities that I'm actually looking at. So I go to the penthouse, and even if I come down a few frequencies, now I can function with others. I can talk. I can express myself and experience being a human. You never stop having those emotions, even though, because you're still in that low vibration. You're still in the matrix. You're still playing out the game. You don't stop playing the game. You're aware. Now you have information. This is what's happening to a lot of you. Once you know it, or you at least are open to it, you can never go back, because you have information and you've expanded. Now what's happening is more and more people are expanding. Now what happens when they expand, and what's happening out there? Well, I'll share with you. You're going to be like, you might be able to really connect to this. I have had more people tell me, friends who don't even watch my channel, people on my channel, my business students online, my spiritual training students, have said independently that they are just crying. Oh, at my workout facility, somebody there said, happiest person on the planet, said, I don't know why, but I woke up and I started crying. And I said, okay, we could say, oh, it's, is that time of the month? Is your hormones? Are you going through no, it is consistent and it's widespread. What is happening? People are examining their current state of being. That's the first thing. When you shift into something higher and you're open to that, and by the way, all of these people happen to be, I'd say more, let's just say, open to the expansive spiritual fields out there. That spiritual fields for me are the more, let's just say, positive ones. I don't say positive and negative. We get something from everything, but the higher frequencies that are more compassionate and loving, they're not doing some of the things that lower frequencies are doing. They are open out there, which is opening doors to the next gateway. So what happens is you're shifting and changing. Now you have to change. Something has to change. You cannot sustain and maintain this existence if you're going into this. And if you're open to this and you start to go into that space, there will be this overwhelming emotion. And you're going to look at yourself and say, maybe I'm not wanting to function like this anymore. Maybe I have to change, which means you have to let go of things. So it's not a bad thing, and it's not a judgmental thing. Go easy on yourself. But we have to stop functioning in these rules. Now, some of my business students, digital explorers, we're creating planet conscious businesses, and I'll share something about that. Because I've had several students in there crying. 3 of them cried on one of the coaching calls. And they really don't know exactly why. So the emotions are coming up. Being human is so powerful. All right? So what I said to them, and this is going to apply to you, this is going to be one of the most important things I say in this video. When you transition and you're changing and you know that what you're going to or what you're doing has real purpose and contributes positively, then you can be okay with wherever it takes you. So when my Digital Explorer students start to get emotional, I said, guess what? We're leaving that world, that corporate world and schedule and all the things you've been told, how you function as a business, we're leaving it. And here's how you guys can go into a space, and you too, go into a space where you can embrace that sadness, those emotions, and be okay with it. Say, okay, this is very emotional. Because I said to them, what you're doing has great purpose and impact on this planet, other people's lives. So if we were doing business online, just let's make money, let's sell this crap over here, and I'm going to make money, you'd be crying, and I'd say, well, we'll keep going, keep selling that crap that's going out in the ocean. That's not what's happening. I said, hang on to what your mission is, your purpose. And this is why I created it. So now we have purpose, and we know that no matter what happens and how we transition emotionally and how we start to change how we think of business, how we think of our lives, how we think of everything we do. Now, you maybe never be able to kill a bug again. I know it's very difficult for me to, interfere with them at all. I'll take them outside. Seeing somebody just kill a bug, or seeing bugs as enemies, let's just spray the crap out of them, they're a problem to us. You can't think that way anymore. All of a sudden, everything has precious meaning. And then you look at yourself and say, I can't function like that anymore. I have to let it go. And then you're hard on yourself. You're like, oh my God, I've been doing this and that. I said, no, you're an evolving human being. And so this shift is happening right now. And there's a lot of crying going on because there's letting go and going into it. It's very emotional. It's very emotional. I haven't cried. I do cry a little bit out of just the beauty and the love I feel is so overwhelming sometimes. It's so amazing. I mean, you look at things out here and you think, oh my gosh, this is a living creation here that is exuding energy and love. And this is real stuff. No more woo-woo. Realizing this isn't woo-woo. Energy is alive and it's intelligent. It's not just energy. No, energy has to be intelligent in order to maintain what it does. Plants, how they function, everything functions. Even rocks have an intelligent, because the one is all of these things. And when we grasp that, it's so overwhelming, and people are grasping that. That means we're shifting again into something huge, because these next 2 years we have the opportunity, you have the opportunity to go into the feminine space of the frequency of the feminine. It is the start of a golden era, and it will come with controversy, because as I shared with you, when you go into this space, you become so powerful. You are no longer controllable. You no longer feel bad or try to conform about things. You realize that's not who I am anymore, and thus the tears may come when you realize that life is gone. That life is gone. It's sort of grief in a way. And then a lot of times it's not knowing where you're going to. And that can be a little scary, but I'm not seeing scary so much with you guys. A little bit of that. It's like, I don't know what this is going to hold for me. This thing that I'm doing here. That's why my students, they're doing some amazing stuff that's so out there. I said, never question yourself, because what you're doing places others first, and your own health and happiness too, because that's equally as important. It's very emotional. And when you know you're doing the right thing, all of a sudden you go into this space of beauty and love, and you see everything different. And those who are threatened by this power now that we're tapping into, very powerful. The quantum field holds all power. The material world does not. That is a product of this. So everything you see is a product, a creation of this. Everything had to be, my little paper, battery change, everything, this little paper coaster was a thought. It's intelligent. It was a thought. Somebody had to think of it and then use the intelligent resources to create this. All right? So everything started as nothing, just as we did. We were created. So an intelligence has to be behind the creation of everything. So now we go into the space that we're tapping into the creation, the intelligent creation. And so the material world, we realize we are overseeing it. It doesn't control us. We're creating it. And therefore, every thought and how you think of everything, that story you tell yourself about what's going on out there changes, and it starts to make sense. even as a human being, it's tough to make sense of violence and conflict, but you see that that is just the exploration of another entity in the quantum field that's knowing that separation and density. But it is up to us to not react to that in the same way that it's presented, which is separation, conflict, right and wrong. We have to shift into that higher space. And when we send our light and love and we create solutions, this is why I created this company, create a solution. So if people are sick and unhealthy and working in places that destroy our planet, what's the answer? Well, let's create something that doesn't destroy our planet, where we can actually earn money doing that. Now I have purpose in how I earn, and I'm placing community and my respect for our planet first, and my health will benefit from that. And that's exactly how it works. So it has to start here. Start here. So we have to go into creation, and that is big expansion. So once you go into that, you can never go back. You might slip down to different frequencies at times. Maybe, you get angry or you judge or whatever, but you have information and knowledge of whether or not that's really who and what you want to be, or if it really resonates with a new earth, a new world that we're creating right now. You probably can hear my, my washer. Here's what happens when you work from home. But you could work from home. You could do anything you want. You just change the story. Are you feeling the emotions of the transition? It's so powerful. And those of you who've already gone into the change, I have changed my life completely. And so I'm already in that space where I know everything I do is about putting that message out in everything. My business training, my spiritual training, Breakthrough Fear, come on over. This is free. It'll blow your mind. My students here are coming over to here. They're creating businesses. They get that mindset shift. And we're creating a whole new world where we empower ourselves and others in a way this planet has never seen. And that's very emotional. And you may not know what that is yet, but you are tapped into that beautiful space and you're feeling it. I feel it's so powerful for me right now. It's been a few weeks. I keep telling my friends something big is happening. And I feel so excited. And my company is going through so many transitions. There's so much I have to do to take it out there to the public. And it can be a little scary. Are you a business owner, an entrepreneur? It's scary. But when you know what you're doing is going to absolutely change the planet in a beautiful, positive way, you can't stop. And that's where some of you are. You can't stop. I already know that it's wrong to judge, that it's wrong to hate somebody because they do horrible things. Those are the people that I must send my light and love to, even more so. Let's shine the light for them, not condemn them or, argue with them. If anyone is facilitating violence, conflict, ego, complaining, separation, you cannot, if you want to participate in a golden era, you cannot participate in that. Taking sides of any kind is not community, compassion, and positive change. The change makers say, how do we solve this issue? What is that? If it's not behaving well, we will not participate in it. It's going to be standing out there crying like a baby out in the, whatever it is, the companies, the people, the institutions. It's out in the middle of the, corn stalks going, talk of the hand, shut your pie hole, I'm busy over here changing the planet. That's exactly what's going on. It's emotional. Relish being a human being. It's beautiful. As I shared with my students yesterday, I said, you don't get to feel like this on the other side. You don't understand what loss feels like. There's no loss over there. Or illness, sadness, anger. Experience it. Just don't participate in it and allow it to control you. Observe it, experience it. Don't avoid it. Sometimes I say, this is what it feels like to lose, feel loss. I know that I haven't lost anybody or anything, Not really, because I create everything. But this is what that feels like. Wow. And then if you say, if I don't desire this, then I change it. But I got to experience it and relish it and learn from it and say, wow, wow. And then know the contrast. Ah, I know joy and love even more so by knowing that. Does this make sense for you? Go ahead and cry. And don't think, oh, this is bad, I shouldn't be feeling this, I shouldn't be crying, it's not, what's wrong with me? Nothing's wrong with you, honey. You are whole and perfect. You are absolutely perfect. Yes, you're powerful, you're loving, you're harmonious, you are all these things. Everything else is the illusion. Observe it. And then if you want to step into this space as the creator, start creating and expand. Go ahead and cry when the sun sets and rises. Cry when a bird or butterfly lands on a tree. Cry when a little bunny just hops away and you think, that's so beautiful. Is this woo-woo? If you're in low vibration, you can tell yourself, what the hell is that? But if you're on that frequency, you will see the beauty. You will see the beauty of awakening that you cannot explain to anybody else. And it's a wonderful feeling. And guess what? It doesn't make the world go away. But you can tolerate it more and understand why we're here. You have a mission. You can create anything you want. I'm going to continue to give you things. I have master classes that are coming out. I'm releasing those. Some of those I created in the past few years. I'm re-releasing them. They're available now. I have a free master class here that talks about the steps to break through fear and why breakthrough fear is different than making those feelings go away or how do I feel good. We embrace everything. It makes sense, and all of a sudden it's not a problem anymore. And then we move on. And then we go to amazing things. And this is Digital Explorers. I hope that if you want to be, let's just say, an independent entrepreneur, I'll teach you. You need no requirements of any kind, just the desire to do something really cool for yourself. It'll help you heal and to do something impactful for the world. We create an actual business designed around you. Coaching, products, affiliate marketing, publishing, health and wellness, anything. We find what it is that you truly are passionate about, and we create a real business. I mean a real one, something you could take into the bank and get funded at some point. We operate like a real functioning business that empowers us. We're not just frou-frou, reading tarot cards off in the corner. We are going out into the world and taking it seriously, but we're doing it at a high frequency. Imagine what will happen. That's what's going on right now. I'll see you in the next video. Namaste.